Welcome to our virtual back to school night here at Mates OCBTS. I am Dr. Williams, and I'm going to give you a little introduction to our freshman biology course. I know many of you met me at orientation, so I'll try not to be too repetitive, but I just want to go over the basics of what we'll be doing in this course. As new students to Mates, they'll be getting immersed into the field of marine biology and science, getting hands-on, getting wet, getting dirty, and hopefully having a lot of fun while learning a lot of stuff too. I am a coastal ecologist, and I've been working in this field for a very long time. I started my career at Rutgers as an undergrad where I studied seaweed on the beaches. Then I moved to Texas A&M and I continue to study seaweed on the beaches along with hurricanes that came through the area at the time. And then I moved back to New Jersey, worked for Stevens Institute of Technology and New Jersey Sea Grant, while also teaching at community colleges around the area before I started working at Mates last year. I spend most of my time on the water whenever I can. I live on Long Beach Island. My dog Taylor Ham also goes on a lot of trips with me. That's her and me paddle boarding out in Barnegat Bay. I love to scuba dive. It's probably my favorite hobby. And so I get to go all over the world getting to scuba dive. I'm very lucky because my dad also scuba dives with me. So it's make family trips out of it. And sharks are one of my biggest passions along with octopus. So my students will get to hear a lot of stories from my experiences that I've had throughout the years and the travels and getting to actually be immersed underneath the water and see all of the creatures that I get to see. During our class, we're going to have certain goals and objectives. As the first year students coming into Mates, we are getting everyone caught up to the same page on where they should be in terms of learning marine biology. We're going to be giving them hands-on experience. A lot of this class is really with working with hands-on equipment, working with making fish tanks, going out into the field, and then developing their own research projects. Their freshman research project will probably take up the majority of their free time during their first year here. And that will be discussed and worked on step by step through our marine biology course. We'll also be getting to go to the field and working with the tools and equipment that are necessary to understand the ecosystems around us. Also important is to learn vocabulary terms so they can talk the talk about what is going on in the marine world, and they will be able to use the equipment that is necessary also. A lot of the materials, you've already probably gotten these as we go out throughout the year. The students will be doing projects, some hands-on projects that they are creating, poster boards. Some things will be online, but hopefully they can be creative this year a little bit. So some things are optional depending on how creative they are, where they want to go and get their items. Pretty much all of the materials that they'll need for any of the projects will be available at any local store, craft store, anything around you for not too much money. The things that are important to invest in though for this class are our field equipment. So we will be going out to the field, rain or shine. It doesn't matter unless there is a dangerous situation in terms of thunderstorms. So I suggest that students invest a little bit in finding some equipment because they'll continue to go to the field all 4 years. I know I have bought certain shoes that were not very comfortable and gave me blisters. So having really good shoes to go in the field is important. Boots that'll keep your feet from getting wet when we're trying not to get wet. And then also water shoes that will stay on your feet when we are going into the water. Depending on the time of the year, it might be hot, it might be cold. So students should bring whatever is appropriate for the time of the year that they are going out in the field. Constantly checking the weather is something that I suggest to them every day as it comes up to be our field days. Our grades in this class are coming from a variety of sources. Probably the biggest grade that they'll be worried about right away are the species cards and the species cards tests. Those are a big chunk of their grades, but we also have a lot of other grades that are sprinkled throughout, including your field journals, observations by myself, and how students are participating in the projects and the activities. They'll also be getting small tasks to help complete their freshman research project, where they'll get points for that throughout the semester. A lot of smaller tasks that are easy to achieve, and so they can boost their grades. We do have some homework. And of course, unfortunately, we have to have tests and quizzes too. And then we'll do oral presentations. This class will challenge the students in some ways. Some may not be comfortable, but presenting scientific research is really important. So we will get them used to getting in front of the class and doing some presentations. This is some of the field experiences that some of your students have already had, and some are from last year for summer camp. We will be out in the water, in the bay. We will be out on the beaches, and we will be learning about the environment there. There's a lot of historical aspects that we'll learn about throughout the year, along with looking at what is going on every single day on the beach areas, seeing erosion in process, seeing how plants grow, using equipment like seine nets or quadrats to figure out how we're going to sample an area that's not always super easy to sample. One of our trips that most of your students have already been on is Sedge Island, and I was so excited because I have not been there since 2005. So this was my first trip back, and I had a blast. I hope they all did too. It's a very immersive experience to getting all of your environmental aspects all in one big huge trip. We got to kayak. What a trip, getting to see everyone try to kayak together. So much fun. So we'll hopefully make a lot of good stories and memories, and also learn stuff along the way. We also will be doing our weekly trips. My classes will be going out on Tuesdays during the week, weather permitting. And then we have a trip planned to Jenkinson's Aquarium to go behind the scenes in December. More details to come for that. These are some of the topics that we're going to cover throughout the year in this course. Pretty much probably in this order, but we jump around a little bit. One of the things that I find most important is not just learning all the details about all of these animals and species, but also linking them to our current events and our local environment. So we'll be getting into things like what is going on in Barnegat Bay. I'll be bringing in some of my expertise from doing coral reef research, looking at big global concepts, climate change and ocean acidification, and then a lot of other stuff that I have done that I can bring into this class. I've dove in Bonaire and Fiji and Little Cayman. So I hope to be able to create an environment in this class that the students realize they're learning a lot, but they're also going to be able to apply it to a lot of the stuff that they are working with. So hopefully we have a wonderful trip this year, a wonderful year. And please reach out. If you want to reach out to me, just remember you have to use my full name because Williams is kind of common. So Amy Williams is important to use. And you'll have our Google Classroom is also available for the students. It's where most of their information will be posted. I also did a quick video, an episode on New Jersey TV Online. If anyone wants to check that out, the link is below. So please contact me if you have any information or any questions, and have a wonderful, wonderful evening.